Hey, what's up everyone? This is your boy Rave. We're going to do a video today about guitar intonation and adjusting the neck and the saddles and how to keep your guitar properly in tune. So first of all, let's talk about what exactly intonation is on a guitar. It's a word you might hear if you've ever read through like a guitar maintenance book, but a lot of people really don't know what it is. And the problem I always hear with some of my guitars and with other people is that we'll both tune and we'll both have an E or an A, but then when someone else hits a G and you hit a G, it sounds a little off. And I'll tell you why. There's a truss rod that goes down the middle of the guitar. A lot of people don't know this. Maybe they do know this, I don't know. And what that does is, that allows the guitar to bow a little bit and to, you can adjust that bow. If you've ever had your guitar in an apartment and it's really, really hot, what happens is the guitar will either start to bow a little bit, meaning it will have a curve, right? It will be concave. Or if it gets really cold, the guitar will start to expand and you'll get what they call a convex bend, which is it's kind of bending upwards a little bit. And sometimes you can't even see it. Now, ideally what you want is a perfectly flat neck on your guitar. And this is, it's not easy to achieve, but you can definitely do it. And the thing is this. It just takes practice, and there's a lot of moving parts. Now you have the saddles way at the back of the guitar, which you're going to need an Allen wrench for, a small Allen wrench. And what you're going to use that for is to adjust the saddles either up or down as you see fit. You're also going to need a screwdriver for the saddles in the back. That's to move the saddles forward or back. So the motion you have with the saddles is up or down, or forward and back, and that's how you achieve proper intonation. Also, with the truss rod, we're going to get into that a little bit later. You definitely want to tighten that a little bit, but you never want to tighten it too much. And where you can find that is right up on the headstock between the tuning pegs. You see a little something. On the Ibanez, it has a great little sort of trap door that you can flip open and flip back, and that's how you get right to that. And it's a bar that goes down the middle of the neck of the guitar, because the neck of the guitar is wood. And if it didn't have a metal pole going down the middle of it, it would just bend, and the strings pulling on it creates tension, and it just fucks it up. So sometime around, I don't know, the 30s, 40s, or whatever, they started putting this metal rod down the middle of it, and it's not, bolted in place. You can adjust it, and it's very important to get proper intonation on your guitar. So what you do is always start with a perfectly tuned guitar, and this is important. Hit an E, see if you can get a crisp, clean E that's perfect. Now, move down to the 12th fret and hit E on the 12th fret. If that comes out perfect E, that string is intonated. You don't have to do anything. But sometimes you hit an E open and it's fine, and then you hit E on the 12th fret and it's sharp. And that's what we're going to talk about today, man, how to fix that so that when you hit a G, it's not, a sharp G or a flat G. All the notes you hit, whether it's sharps, flats, or whatever, or naturals, you want it to be that note. If you hit a G sharp A flat, you want it to be a G sharp A flat. If you hit an A, you want that note to be an A. And this will really mess you up if you're recording because, you're hitting an A maybe on your bass, and then you plug in the guitar and you hit an A, and it's a little sharp. And so that's why intonation is really important. So, once you check your neck, you want to make sure that the neck is straight. If the neck does have a bow in it, you put that Allen wrench in the top there where that bar is, and you turn it to the left. I'm going to say that again. Turning the truss rod to the left straightens the neck. It takes out the bow. This is very important. You don't want to do it backwards. Now, if you have a guitar and you're looking at the neck and you see that it's almost pointing upwards, like the neck is convex, it's coming upwards, then you would put the Allen wrench in the top, and you would turn it to the right, and that would give the neck what they call relief. Gives it some relief, man. But really, you want it to be straight. Now, let's assume that the neck is relatively straight, but it's not completely intonated, right? You hit open E, it's an E, but then when you press it on the 12th fret, it's sharp. Here's what you can do with these saddles, and here is what these saddles are kind of on the guitar for. If you move that saddle, right? We're talking forwards and back now with the Phillips head screwdriver. If you move that saddle forward, you will be contributing to making that string sharp. Okay, let me say that again. You get your Phillips head screwdriver, you're back here at the saddles of the guitar, and if you move it, you turn the screwdriver so that you're moving that saddle forward, you're going to be making that string sharp. So, again, your E string is perfectly in tune. You hit open E, boom, you get an E. You hit the 12th fret, it's an E sharp. So what you need to do is you need to get out that screwdriver and go to that saddle and you bring that saddle back. Now you retune the guitar, pull on the string a little bit, hit an open E, it's perfect. Hit it on the 12th fret. Now if it's perfect, you are all done. What you want is you want an E open, and you want an E at the 12th fret. Now you're going to repeat this process with all the other strings, right? You got your guitar laying down in front of you, you've got your tuner on there. Hit an A string. Make sure it's properly in tune, make sure it's right in the middle A. If you have to tune it with the tuning knobs, do that. Get yourself a nice perfect A. Now go down to the 12th fret, hit A. If it's a A and it's right in the middle, that string again is properly intonated. But let's say you hit that 12th fret on A and it comes up flat. Well, what do we just say? You gotta get out the screwdriver, take that saddle and move it forward, because when you move it forward, you contribute to making to that note sharp. So you do that, pull on the string a little bit. It's very important to pull on the string a little bit. Now, tune it up, hit an open A. Again, you get your open A, it's perfect. Hit it on the 12th fret. Is it still a little sharp? Is it a little flat? Well, let's say it's a little flat. Again, move the saddle forward. You keep doing that until when you hit 12th fret on the A string, you want it to be an A. And you keep repeating this. You move on to the D string, open D. Looks fine. Hit it on the 12th fret. Oh my God, it's really sharp. Well, get the screwdriver. Bring that saddle back a little bit. Now, when you bring it back, you're contributing to making that note a little flat, right? You're taking off the tension so it's not as sharp. You're bringing it back. You're making it flat. Again, pull on that D string. Hit it open. Is it a perfect D? Cool. Come down to the 12th fret. And you always want to make sure your finger's right on the fret, right before the fret. You know, you don't want to be too forward or too back. So you're on that D string, you're on the 12th fret, you hit it, it comes up perfect. Awesome. You are good to go. And then there's a couple more strings on guitar, one more string on bass. Do the same thing, man. Open G, make sure it's cool, pull on it a little bit, make sure it's right in the middle on your tuner, come down to the 12th fret again. Hit it again lightly. Uh-oh, it's a little sharp. So what do we say we're going to do if it's sharp on the 12th fret? Well, we're going to bring that saddle back. And that's what we're going to do on this, right? We bring the saddle back, a couple of turns. Let me give you this advice. Don't turn anything way too much, way too fast. It's a game of inches, man. You want to bring it back very little, give it about maybe a turn and a half, pull on the string, try it again. Now, your 12th fret on your D string is perfect D. That's awesome. Now, you can go out through the rest of the guitar. It's never going to be perfect because you've got like 24 frets or 26 frets. There's always going to be a little bit of this note's a little sharp, this note's a little flat. That's going to happen. What we're trying to do is minimize it. Now, this is why people buy really expensive guitars, because if you buy a $5,000 Gibson Les Paul, that thing's probably fucking golden. But the most expensive guitar I have is like $1,500. It's a Dimebag Darrell Special. And even that guitar needed some intonation work. So on this particular bass, not a incredibly expensive bass. So when I got it home, I really had to do some work on it. So again, open string, perfect in the middle of your tuner. Awesome. 12th fret. If it's a little sharp, take that saddle, move it back. If it's flat, take that saddle, move it forward. That's what you do with your Phillips head screwdriver. Now, the part of the saddle where you raise up the string and lower the string, this won't fuck with your intonation too much. What this is for is, it's a finishing touch. After you've intonated your guitar, you take the Allen wrench, the small one, and you're looking at the saddles where you've got two little small Allen wrench screws. Each one gets about a turn and a half, and that will raise it up a little bit, because sometimes, once you've adjusted the intonation, the strings will buzz a little bit. Also, if the strings buzz past the 12th fret, you have to turn that truss rod in the middle to the left. That means there's bow in your guitar neck, right? If you're getting that buzzing, that means you got some bow in the neck. Now, if you're getting buzzing on the frets forward of, say, 7, 8, or 9, forward towards the end of the guitar, towards the headstock, that probably means that your neck is coming up a little bit, and that means you would turn the truss rod to the right. All right, everyone with me here? We're all on the same page? Cool. Now, the point is, of this whole thing, is you want your notes to be your notes and not a little sharp or a little flat, and also you don't want buzzing on the neck. On guitar, you can get away with a little bit of buzzing. On bass, these strings are so huge, you know what I mean? They're, 4 times bigger than a guitar string, sometimes more, and you will get buzzing because that string is so thick that it's touching the frets way down at the end of the guitar. And that's where your tiny Allen wrench comes in handy with these saddles. And what you do is stick that Allen wrench in there into the saddle of the guitar, and you raise it up just a little bit. And the whole sort of goal of this is to raise them up that they're not so high off the fretboard that you can't play it, but you're not getting any buzzing on the frets, right? And go down the guitar like that. Start on the E, hit around 12, 13, 14, you're getting some buzzing. Nope, it's good. Move on to the A. All right, so we're on our A string. We're getting a little bit of buzzing down there. Break out that tiny Allen wrench. Raise that saddle up just a little bit. Try it again. Remember, any adjustment you make, I would highly suggest you then pull on the 12th fret. So that way you're kind of, you're making sure that that adjustment has taken effect, right? So you're raising the saddle a little bit just to take the buzz off of the strings hitting the frets. And we're talking mostly bass. I mean, a lot of this applies to guitar. Like I said, on bass, it's a little bit different because the strings are so thick. Now back to the neck adjustment. I just want to talk about this for a second. You have to make sure that your strings are completely loose off the fretboard before you start turning that truss rod inside the neck of your guitar. Now, I would highly suggest you do a quarter to half a turn per time. Don't go in there and start fucking ratcheting it in there, you know what I mean? Let's say your neck is bowed and you want to get rid of that bow. Put that Allen wrench in there, turn it from the right all the way to the left, and then leave it face down for, you should do it for a day, but if you don't get that type of time in your schedule, leave it face down on something, the floor, on the carpet, and leave it there for a couple of hours. Pick it up, put the strings, tune the strings back up to where they should be. Again, very important. Give them a pull on the 12th fret. Now check it. Do you have a straight E? Do you have an E on the 12th fret? And when you get down past the 12th fret, is it buzzing? Now remember, if it's buzzing past the 12th fret, you've got a bow. If it's buzzing up around 7, 8, 9, you need to add a little bit of bow, add a little bit of relief to it. Now hopefully all of these things will contribute to making your guitar perfect, sounding perfect. When you're doing a bass solo or a guitar solo, you know that the notes you're hitting are the actual notes. And there's a funny story, man. Even the great Jimi Hendrix would play guitars that weren't properly intonated. People just didn't really have it down to a science back then. He played Fenders, and a lot of times you listen to old Hendrix records, he'll have a rhythm track that he recorded, and he'll be a little off with himself. Some people can't hear it. But yeah, don't feel bad if your guitar isn't properly intonated, because even the great Jimi Hendrix played a guitar that wasn't properly intonated. And I hope we went over all this, man. Again, some pointers. Remember, when you're moving that saddle up and down the neck, when you move that saddle forward, you're making the string sharp. When you pull it back and you're turning that Phillips head screwdriver, you're bringing it back, you're going to make it flat a little bit. So if you're hitting G and that G is a little sharp, it's not exactly a G, all you got to do is move that saddle back a little bit, man. Again, with the truss rod, you turn it to the left, you're making the neck straighter. You turn it to the right, you're giving the neck some relief and a little bit of bow. And what we use the tiny Allen wrench for, hello, anybody? Bueller? We use that to raise the strings up and down so that we do not get buzz when we're doing our fucking massive bass solos past the 12th fret. Hey man, I hope this video helped out for you, man, because I didn't have a video like this when I was growing up, and my guitars were always just horribly out of tune. Anyway, man, do me a favor, click like, subscribe, Rave and Xavier on Facebook, ravexmusic.bandcamp.com for all of the songs and podcasts that you love. My name's Rave X, and I'm out of here.